How to have fun anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo!
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Now, the Hunt Palmer Show.
A magic beyond anything you could ever imagine.
You are now listening to the Hunt Palmer Show. Brought to you by Sagrera Farms on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Locking down the middle of the day.
You really think that's the best idea?
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, this is Hunt Palmer.
It's quite a piece of work.
Hour 2 off and running here on a Friday. We're brought to you by Cork's Cajun Fried Fish and Shrimp. In the next segment, I want to talk about number 18 for LSU and something that has never happened that I think may happen this year. So we'll do that when we come back in the next segment. But for now, I want to talk some Saints. And, look, I want to be upfront about this. This is the time of year, June, July, August. The football vibes should be good, right? Like, nobody's lost a game. Guys aren't tearing ACLs just yet. It's a time for optimism, time for good vibes. And I want to bring that often, right? There's no need to be, grouchy and mean about football before camp starts. And so I'm going to avoid that a lot. But today I saw something and it just kind of scratched a scab. And I got to talk about it here. We've talked this week about the series that ESPN.com is running where they poll executives, coaches, scouts, and they talk about the top 10 players at each position. And today's is tight end. And I did not think that Juwan Johnson would make the top 10 tight ends in the league. I don't think he's a top 10 tight end. I don't think Foster Morrow is. Taysom Hill is hurt, 1, and 2 is kind of a gadget player as opposed to a tight end. So I didn't think that the Saints would have one on the list. And they don't. But you look through, and it's Brock Bowers at 1, George Kittle at 2, Sam Laporta from Detroit at 3, Trey McBride from Arizona is at 4, Kelsey still hanging in there at 5, Mark Andrews at 6, who's been great in Baltimore, TJ Hawkinson from Minnesota at 7, Isaiah Likely from the Ravens at 8, Dallas Goedert, who's been really good at Philly, is number 9, and then David Njoku is number 10. But they also, in this story, go through honorable mention. So we've already done 10 tight ends. And now we get into honorable mention. You got Dalton Kincaid and Pat Freiermuth, Hunter Henry, Evan Ingram, Cole Kmet, Jake Ferguson, Jonnu Smith. You've added 7 names to the top 10 list. That's 17. And you haven't gotten to Juwan Johnson. And then they do the also receiving votes, and you get Dalton Schultz, 18, Tucker Kraft, 19, Kyle Pitts, the Falcons, 20, before you get to Juwan Johnson at 21. 21. And that's a fair ranking, I think. But that just brings me back to the contract that the Saints gave Juwan Johnson this offseason. And you're looking at a deal here that is 3 years, $30.7 million. $11 million of that is a signing bonus, and $21.2 is guaranteed. But you're talking about a guy that's going to carry a cap hit of $5 million this year and $13 million next year before you get it out. And he would be $13.5 the following year. And you're talking about a guy who's in his age 29 season, who has never had 550 yards receiving, who's not some sort of red zone mismatch. And I'm looking at this going, the Saints have done a good job, in my opinion, of kind of chilling out on the contracts. They haven't made any splashes in free agency. They haven't done a lot of big multi-year deals. I didn't love the Kamara deal, but I kind of get it. He's a guy that wants to be in New Orleans. He's still a very productive player. Juwan Johnson is just such a meh tight end. And to give him $30 million, $21 million guaranteed, a cap hit of $13 million in the second year of that deal when he's in his age 30 season, it's just so odd to me based on the other things that they've done essentially, which is just chilling out. I mean, I look at Juwan Johnson last year. He played in 17 games, all of them, which is great. He had 3 touchdowns and 548 yards. That's an easy guy to replace to me. And I know that you've seen big success from Kellen Moore with his tight ends. And maybe there's something more in this than the numbers bear out right now because the new offensive system is coming in. But the more I look at that contract, the more I go, that's just a miss for where the Saints are right now. If you've got a guy that's been a pillar in your passing game, a guy that's a key cog, even though he's not the most freakish athlete on the field, that's been uber productive, and he just fits your system, and you know what you got, and it's a good deal, then fine. But it felt odd to give a 29-year-old tight end $30 million. And it's just exacerbated when I look at the ESPN list, and the people that are in the sport that certainly know it far, far better than I do are looking at this going, yeah, we got 20 guys that are better than him. And I realize that some of these guys like Kelsey are making significantly more money than Juwan Johnson. Like, I got that. It's not like grossly out of place. It's not like they're paying him $21 million a year. They're not giving him Justin Jefferson money. But it's just a contract that I think about the negotiation against nobody. Like, who are you trying to fight off for Juwan Johnson? Who's just beating down his door to up the ante? I don't see that. I see a guy that plays a decent amount, that catches 450 yards worth of balls, catches 3 touchdowns, and that's really what you get. He's 6'4", not 6'6". He's 231 pounds. Like, he's fine. He's a fine player. He's a fine player. But he's very replaceable at a cheaper price tag than what the Saints slapped on him. And when I watched ESPN rip off 20 guys in front of him that they feel like are better, and then it just reminds me of what they did there, I'm like, Mickey, I don't think so. And I liked a lot of the chillaxness of Mickey the last year. Like, it's clear to me they have made a pivot. And that's a good thing. This is the outlier over the last year and a half. Because I don't even think this is like Kamara. Like, I wouldn't pay Kamara what they did. We've been over that. But this is just... And I just wish they hadn't done that. And there's nothing against Juwan Johnson. I'm told he's a really nice guy. Great guy. Great in the community. Great family man. Great in the locker room. Like, I don't have any beef with Juwan Johnson. I've got just a tinge of uncomfortability with his contract. And today was that crystallized just a little bit. So we'll see. Maybe they unlock something new. Maybe they unlock something new with Kellen Moore. I think from a productivity standpoint and an offense and a scheme standpoint, all bets are off on what the Saints decide to do this year. And if I'm wrong and Juwan Johnson catches 800 yards worth of balls and 7 touchdowns this year, I'll be like, oh, well, I was dead wrong. Awesome job, Kellen Moore. Great job, Mickey. That's awesome. I just don't have reason to believe that's going to happen. We'll see. That's my look at the Saints here on this Monday. If you're looking for Saints content, we got it for you. Certainly at LouisianaSports.net. Ross Jackson just churning them out over there at LouisianaSports.net. Coming up with fresh content every single day on the Black and Gold. If you're looking for my takes on the Saints, Hunt on Saints on YouTube or wherever you find your podcast, Hunt on Saints. Subscribe up to that as we get closer and closer to the Saints reporting. Inside 2 weeks away from the Saints reporting to camp. So fired up for all of that. All right, let's take a time out. When we come back, I know that some people like the 18 storyline. Some people don't care at all. Either way, if they do something different this year, I'd be for it. And I'll tell you what I think that might be when we come back.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? If you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. Choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
This is the Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Quirks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp.
Friday show is brought to you by Cork's Cajun Fried Fish and Shrimp. If you ever find yourself thinking, where can I get a great po' boy in Baton Rouge? Cork's is your answer. Big old jumbo Gulf shrimp on that po' boy, fully dressed. That delicious French bread. Great po' boy in here in Baton Rouge. It's at Cork's. You can drive on through. Check them out. Tell them the Hunt Palmer Show sent you in. If you're looking for a late lunch, looking to pick up dinner this evening, feed a whole crew, go to the menu, corksfishandshrimp.com. They can fix you up. It is fantastic stuff over there, and they bring you our Friday shows each and every week. All right. So number 18. Big deal to some, not big deal to others. Just hear me out. Let's take a trip down memory lane. This all started in 2003 with Matt Mauck, right? And then Mauck handed it to our guy, Jacob Hester. And I'm just going to go through the whole list from Hester. Richard Dixon, Richard Murphy, my guy BT, Brandon Taylor, Benny Logan, Lamine Barrow, Terrence McGee, Tre'Davious White, Christian Lockacher, John David Moore, Foster Morrow, Caleb Von Chason, Lloyd Cushenberry, Chris Curry, Damone Clark, BJ Ojolari, Makai Wingo, Greg Penn, Josh Williams. Beck, anything stand out? Anything those guys have in common?
The only one that was a quarterback was Matt Mauck.
That's correct. That needs to change this year.
Oh.
Garrett Nussmeier needs to be 18 this year. LSU's had phenomenal leaders at the quarterback position over that time frame. Joe Burrow, incredible leader. Famous for starting that fight at practice. I think he punched Patrick Queen or something. Great leader. Team loved him. And you've had other guys. You don't have to win the Heisman Trophy. Jaden Daniels was a great leader, but you don't have to win a Heisman Trophy to be a great leader at the quarterback spot. But I think Garrett Nussmeier kind of embodies what you want in your LSU player. And you're looking at some of these guys, especially like last year, Josh Williams and Greg Penn are guys that stuck it out at LSU, had kind of winding journeys to the field, and they were just guys that wanted to be part of the program and were woven into the fabric of it. And Garrett Nussmeier embodies that. You're talking about a guy who chose LSU because he felt a connection to the state. He's moved all over the place with his dad's coaching career, but his mom's family is from the 337. And that's where he associates home with. So he wanted to come play at LSU. And then he's not the quarterback when he gets to LSU. And then they bring in a transfer, and the transfer is the quarterback at LSU. And almost every other quarterback would have left, and Nussmeier didn't leave. Just stayed and worked and became the starting quarterback when Jaden Daniels left. And he had a great year last year. And then he could have left again and gone to the pros. And Garrett Nussmeier probably would have been a first or second round pick in last year's draft. But he said, I'm coming back. Got to win a championship. And every time you look at LSU football posting one of their off-season workout videos, Garrett Nussmeier's leading the charge. It's a guy that's obviously mature. You can hear that in his answers in press conferences. He just got engaged. That's a pretty mature move. Nobody was marrying me back when I was a fifth-year college student. Promises. And so I think this is the perfect guy to snap a streak that goes back 22 years. LSU has had 18 on the roster, but not with a quarterback. And what better position to have wearing the number, right? That is the leader of the team. That is the guy everybody looks to. And maybe there's a reason they haven't pegged a quarterback, because the quarterback gets a lot of attention no matter what number he's wearing. And you want to do it for somebody who's a little bit off the radar. That's why you tab Greg Penn. That's why you tab John David Moore. That's why you tab Lamine Barrow or Richard Murphy. That's why you go get Foster Moore. I mean, none of these guys were stars. I mean, who's the best player on this list of 18? Caleb Vaughn was a first-round pick. Tre'Davious White was a first-round pick. Hester was a great player, third-round pick. But for the most part, these aren't the stars. Like, Brandon Taylor's a great college player, as a third-round pick of the Chargers, but he was the fourth most famous guy in his secondary. And Tyrann Mathieu, Morris Claiborne, Eric Reed. And so maybe that's where they try to usher the number towards somebody that may not get the recognition from the outside, and the quarterback always does. But if I want to put together, ideally, have one guy lead the program during a season and be the face of it, like, wouldn't I want that to be the guy who has the ball on every play? Wouldn't I want that to be the guy that's the most bought in, that's the biggest leader, that's the loudest voice? And from all accounts, like, that's what Garrett Nussmeier's done. I've told you this story a lot, recounted it a lot. When we used to watch Garrett Nussmeier in his first year at LSU, he was like a joyful child running out there, just like so amped up, yelling, tapping everybody on the helmet, running 40 yards after they complete a pass, doing back jumps with the wide receivers, going nuts. Like, he was just as jubilant as can be. Now when you go out to practice, he's more reserved. He's more of a leader as opposed to a kid in a candy store. And so to me, and I'm not at practice, I'm not in the weight room, I'm not in the meeting room or the film room. Like, so I don't know what goes on there, but everything I gather from the outside is that Garrett Nussmeier does all the right stuff. And I think it's time this year to put that jersey number on the quarterback. This is the time. You've got a season right here that we just talked to Preston in the last hour. Like, it is as highly anticipated as we've had in some time. And you've got a lot of expectation. You've got a lot of external pressure on LSU. You heard Garrett Nussmeier talk about that at the Manning Passing Academy. You've got a big season opener that you're gearing up for. And that's going to put a lot of heat on this team right now. And I think the face of that and the guy who will lead everyone into the fire is the quarterback, is Garrett Nussmeier. So I'm making my plea. I'm stating my case. This is something they have not done in 22 years with that number. Got running backs, tight ends, safeties, defensive tackles, linebackers, tight ends, edge rushers, centers, defensive tackle again, linebacker. Like, you got everything. You don't have a quarterback. This is the year I think that changes. So we'll see. They usually announce that after the first couple practices. They do it after a practice and they award that jersey. They'll award 7 as well and send out the whole press release. But I'm staking my claim. Beck, have I stated an adequate case?
Yes, and when I saw you were gonna talk about this, I was just thinking, while Nussmeier is a star player, he is a big name player. He's going to be, whenever casual fans think about LSU this year, he's going to be the first guy they probably think of, and so he is a very, he is one of the most popular players on the team. But at the same time, he also embodies all the things that you have, that LSU has shown that they want in a player to wear the 18. So he has both those traits. So to me, I think it's a great idea, and I would like to see it.
They've already dubbed him as the guy who's going to Media Day.
Yeah.
And they made a production video when he announced he was coming back. He's kind of checking every box that you need there. I could come up with some other guys on this team that might garner that. I could see Whitweeks wearing that number. I could see them slapping it. Well, Perkins wears 7, so they're probably not going to give him 18. Chris Hilton is a guy that a lot of players on that team like a ton. The same goes for Aaron Anderson. There are other options, but I feel like 18 this time around needs to go to the quarterback. So we'll see if they make that happen coming up here in a few weeks. I might write a column about that on LouisianaSports.net. We shall see. Our Friday show is brought to you by Cork's Cajun Fried Fish and Shrimp. Got about 35 minutes to go. When we come back, I got some more thoughts on the MLB draft. This is our last time to talk before the draft. And I want to talk about the legacy of one player who's headed out in that MLB draft. We'll do that when we come back.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Genesis of Baton Rouge. GenesisofBatonRouge.com is the website. They make things so easy for you at Genesis of Baton Rouge. They don't make you set foot on the lot if you don't want to. And there are a lot of folks that have had bad experiences in the car buying realm previously, and that happens. There's stereotypes for a reason. But that's not going to happen at Genesis of Baton Rouge. And if you just don't want to go on the lot, then they'll come to you. Just look online. Every single car that they have in their inventory is right there online. SUVs, sedans. You can see all pictures, read about all the bells and whistles. And then if you decide, okay, this looks good, I'd like to drive that. Well, they'll come to you. Valet test drives. At work, lunch break, they can do it for you. At home, can't leave, they can do it for you. One of their brand ambassadors drive right up to you. And if you decide at that point, yeah, this is what I want, this is what we want to go with, you don't have to go to the dealership then either. They've got e-contracts, digital delivery, like, can't be any easier. Then you decide you're going to do maintenance on your car. 3 years complimentary. That means free 99. And they'll come to you to do that too. Come pick up your car, bring it back, handle your maintenance, bring it back to you. It's easy. It's all about the experience at Genesis of Baton Rouge. It's a wonderful line of vehicles and incredible people, and they give you an experience when you drive a Genesis. Go check them out, Airline Highway at Pico across from Women's Hospital. It's Genesis of Baton Rouge. You can find them online, genesisofbatonrouge.com.
Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you want to get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Quirks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp.
So, Major League Baseball draft begins on Sunday. I believe 6 o'clock Central Time, which will be 7 o'clock where I am in the ATL. And they'll do 3 rounds. It moves far more quickly than the football draft. And they'll clip it right along. And then they'll do rounds 4 through 20. So it's just a 20-round draft on Monday, and that'll be fast and furious with the LSU guys, both the guys on the roster and then the signing class as well. But I want to talk about the guy at the top of this whole thing. Because this time last year, you were gearing up for Luke Holman and Gage Jump to be drafted, and they were fantastic for LSU down the stretch. And you didn't have an odds-on favorite to supplant them atop the rotation. If you remember, Holman started the year at the beginning, and then Jump eventually kind of became LSU's ace. They didn't have anybody that was like the heir apparent. And that's an unsettling feeling. Because we don't really have it right now. You feel like Case and Evans is like going to the front of the rotation. And a lot of years you know that. But the ones you don't are testy. And that was the case last year. And all that happened was a legendary season by Cade Anderson. And I don't think it's hyperbole to call it that. I really don't. You're talking about a guy that was the front of the rotation all year, made the start in the front of the weekend all year long. I mean, they obviously moved things around against South Carolina, but he was your Friday guy from start to finish. And he went 12-1 with a 3.18. And in the postseason, which is what everyone cares about in Baton Rouge, he went 7 innings of shutout baseball against DBU in the Saturday night regional game. He pitched in 100-degree weather against West Virginia and got through 7 innings in a game that LSU was up 9 runs in. Wasn't his dominant outing, but 7 innings of work in game 1 of the Super, a game you won. Then you go to Omaha, 7 innings of 1-run ball and 3 hits against Coastal, and a complete game shutout in game 1 of the championship series against Coastal. That's 16 innings, 6 hits, 1 run. He had 17 strikeouts. That's legendary stuff. And now he's probably going to be the first pick in the draft. There's some debate on that for a couple of reasons. One of the reasons is out of his control. The Nationals fired their general manager a week out from the draft with the first pick in the draft. So now you're going to have a scouting director make that pick. And the consensus in the industry is that the feeling is that they'll play it safe and go with Anderson, who is about as safe a pick as there is in this draft. But if you talk about a pitcher at LSU who is the ace of a championship team, who throws 16 one-run innings in Omaha, who pitches one of the 5 greatest games in the history of LSU baseball with that complete game shutout in the first game of the championship series. You put him right there with Brett Laxton, with Paul Skeens, with Ty Floyd maybe. That's probably the list. And then he's the first pick in the draft. You're now in the Ben McDonald, Aaron Nola, Paul Skeens conversation. I don't know any other way to say it. And to think that we sat here last year and had no idea who LSU's Friday night starter was going to be, and this is what you got. That is a mind-blowing ascension from Cade Anderson. And it's a really, really cool story. Because as awesome as it is for Paul Skeens to come here and put on the Superman cape and be a superstar and to start the All-Star game 12 months after he leaves college, he's a California kid who went to Air Force and then showed up for a year. When Cade Anderson started in the College World Series, they put up pictures of him in his North Shore childhood home wearing LSU stuff. So in a way, like Cade Anderson is all of us that have grown up loving LSU baseball. He just got to live the dream to do it, and now is going to be a legend. And when you're talking about future aces of LSU, the discussion now becomes like, is he a Ben McDonald, Skeens, Aaron Nola, Cade Anderson type? I just could not have seen that coming. Aaron Nola's the same way. Grew up in Baton Rouge, wanted to play for LSU. Brother was there. And maybe none of this happens if Cade Anderson's UCL doesn't go when he's a junior in high school. Maybe the money becomes too much to pass up as a prep left-hander. But this is a really, really cool story that we're going to see the LSU conclusion to on Sunday night. And for LSU, in return, Cade Anderson after Cade Anderson gave LSU that phenomenal performance and LSU gave him that opportunity, he turns around and now puts LSU once again on a billboard for the entire country to see. It's just another line of this ridiculous hot streak the LSU brand is on. It goes back to 2019 with Burrow and that football team that took the nation by storm, not only with the way that they played, but with the hype videos on Twitter and all the buzz that was around that team and doing the get the gat and the gritty in the White House and like the whole thing. Like that's where it started. And those guys have continued that with Burrow making it to the Super Bowl and Chase setting records with Justin Jefferson doing that. And Stingley's been awesome. And they've kind of continued their run. And then right behind them, you had baseball winning the 2023 championship and the women's basketball team winning in 2023 and all the pointing to the ring finger with Angel Reese doing that and the Dylan Cruz doing that. And you had Skeens and Cruz were the biggest story in college baseball. And then they became, after a national championship, the first and second picks in the draft. And you've got gymnastics winning a championship and Livy Dunn blowing up. And then Livy Dunn and Paul Skeens are all over the place on the internet. And oh, by the way, Jaden Daniels wins the Heisman Trophy. And then he sets the NFL on fire with Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas. And then this LSU team does it again. And now you're potentially going to have the number 1 pick in the draft again. It's just remarkable, this heater that LSU is on from a national perspective. There are plenty of phenomenal athletic programs that don't have anything like this going on. Texas is great at sports. Florida is great at sports. Tennessee has a phenomenal track record going right now across all sports. Their basketball team is knocking on the door of the Sweet 16 every year. One of the better teams in the country, top 15 program in the country. Their baseball team just won a national championship. Can anyone in the country point to a Tennessee Vol that was on that team 2 years ago? I mean, I can. Like, I know Christian Moore, who's already in the big leagues. But, like, does he resonate like Paul Skeens? I don't even think he resonates like Livy Dunn. Certainly not Jaden Daniels or Joe Burrow. I really don't think that I'm looking at this from inside a little Baton Rouge bubble. I think this is a national thing. And it's why Amazon came down here and did a documentary on it. The Money Game. It's all LSU. the money really is in Texas and Ohio and in Bryce Underwood's pocket. But LSU is the brand that they chose to focus on. And it's all just kind of the stars aligning. Like, sure, LSU's always cared a lot, and LSU won titles before all this happened in baseball and football. And LSU was a cool thing in basketball in the 80s. But this run across multiple sports that LSU is on is just remarkable, and Cade Anderson is next up on that list. And you're going to see that, hopefully, on Sunday. Now, maybe things change, and maybe the Nationals pull a fast one, and maybe they go Liam Doyle. Maybe they take the right-hander from high school. There's never been a right-handed pitcher out of high school be the number one pick in the draft. Potentially this year that could happen. And then it tamps down just a little bit. But in all honesty, it's likely Cade Anderson's the first pick. Everyone's mocking that. And it's crazy to think about the continuation of sustained success that LSU has had, that even though there have been bumpy seasons in football that haven't been up to expectation, even though the men's basketball program has fallen on some hard times, and even though baseball was disappointing 2 years ago with how they started league play, and women's basketball wasn't able to back up the Natty with that Haley Van Lith, Anissa Morrow transfer portal class that looked so good, and they didn't quite get there. And it hasn't been all perfect, but it's been consistent. And now we're going on 6 years. I just rattled off 6 years of history with 2 Heismans and a football Natty and a basketball, two baseball natties, and a gymnastics natty, and a women's basketball natty. And with the natty, the celebrity. Angel Reese is on the freaking NBA 2K25 cover. And everybody knows she went to LSU. Paige Becker's isn't on there. No Lady Vols on there. Nobody from South Carolina, like Asia Wilson probably should be, but Angel Reese is on it because of the celebrity. It's just, the brand is just crazy good at this point. And I went on a diatribe in the first hour about how vital and important locking down the state of Louisiana is, and I feel that to my core. But if you also listen to Preston Guy in the first hour, there are only like 9 guys in the state football-wise that LSU wants to take this year, so you're going to have to reach out. And I think that phone is going to ring, and people are going to pick up because LSU is just a spot you want to go to. So whether it's Daniel Dickinson from rural Washington, or Derek Curiel from Southern California, or Jaden Daniels from out there in Southern California, or somebody that comes in from the East Coast, like Tommy White. It's a powerful, powerful brand right now that continues to just play the hits and play the hits and play the hits. And I'm hopeful that from a situation last year, we were looking around going, I'm not really sure who's going to be LSU's ace, to, whoa, Cade Anderson did what? And is now in legendary air because of that. And what a very, very cool story that is for him. And I think he'll make the Nationals a very, very happy organization at this point. Now, to kind of put that to bed on the one side, and then to kind of veer off into a little bit of a different topic here, because we got a little bit of time, it does surprise me a little bit that Cade Anderson is going with the first pick in the draft, because his stuff is great, but it doesn't just blow me away. Like Steven Strasburg and Paul Skeens and those guys that go first in the draft, like even Chase Burns, who was the first pitcher from the college ranks taken last year, like those guys from a stuff perspective are better than Anderson. But it's I guess the consistency, the repeatability, and the ability to throw strikes. Like a lot of times the first pick in the draft doesn't lead the SEC in home runs allowed. Like Cade Anderson gave up 16 home runs this year. Now his ERA was great and his win-loss record was 12-0. And with Anderson on the mound, LSU beat Kyson Witherspoon and beat a number of aces, including Liam Doyle, including Zach Root. He was on the mound as you win against a really talented right-hander from Coastal. And so his numbers, his stuff is very good. It just doesn't blow me away. It didn't look to me in April that LSU had the first pick in the draft. But as time went on, he just got better. And now it's a consensus that he's the number one pick in the draft. So It's a cool thing. It's a great story. It's awesome for LSU. It's awesome for Cade. And we'll see what the results are coming up on Sunday night. But we all think that that's the likely scenario that the Nationals select Cade with that first pick of the 2025 Major League Baseball draft. All right, we got one segment to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back and close things out next on the Hunt Palmer Show.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Hey, it's Ryan Seacrest. Life comes at you fast, which is why it's important to find some time to relax. A little you time. Enter Chumba Casino. With no download required, you can jump on anytime, anywhere for the chance to redeem some serious prizes. So treat yourself with Chumba Casino and play over 100 online casino-style games, all for free. Go to ChumbaCasino.com to collect your free welcome bonus. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
This is the Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Quirks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp.
How does the production team feel about all the on-air personalities being in Atlanta for the week? Just gonna be, y'all excited about that? It's gonna be a little lonely.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be pretty quiet in here, I think, around these parts.
But you're used to it. I was in Omaha for like 8 months.
Yes, we are used to it at this point.
They only came to clean my room one time in Omaha.
Did you have the thing on the door? Or?
No, I think I figured out you had to call them.
Oh, yeah. Well, so yeah, a lot of hotels after COVID too, they started doing it where they only do it like every other day or something. And then sometimes, you have to request it if you want it more often or something like that.
I loved it there. Maristar was great. If LSU goes to Omaha next year and you're going to Omaha, I would highly recommend the Maristar. I was there for a very long time.
You were?
I ate a lot of cheeseburgers. I ate a lot of French dips.
Yep. You didn't have to, but you did. You could have eaten some healthy. There are some healthy options you could have went for.
Did have some. I'll tell you what, they didn't have any healthy options. The press box.
Okay, yeah.
They're not even trying. It's just big old boats of pasta, Italian beef sandwiches. They're not even giving it a head fake.
No.
And the amount of Coke Zeros in that press box would boggle the mind. There's refrigerators on every turn.
Serious issue.
I mean, there's one right there where all the radio booths, there's 4 radio booths ready. Like, they designed the stadium purely for the College World Series. So, like, they already have a radio booth for every team for every day. And then they've got a fridge there. And then you walk around the corner where all the stats are, and there's a buffet, and there's 2 more refrigerators in there. It's just, there's just too many zeros. I had 50.
Way too many.
Better than the vending machine here.
Yes.
But we covered that already.
We did.
If you missed that and you're dying to hear vending machine talk, we did that in hour number 1. I also have to come clean on something back. My computer's dead. I just watched all 3 of your heads just fall.
This is the Hunt Palmer Show. Hopefully Hunt remembered to bring his laptop charger. Nah, there's no chance.
Just play the Take It or Leave It drop, please.
Take it or leave it. Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
Presented to you by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer, crafted by America's oldest brewery. Today's hottest stories in sports, news, and sometimes even Hunt's life. The question is, will he take them or leave them?
I'll paint you a hypothetical and it's just a hypothetical purely. If you've got a 3.5-year-old and a 4-month-old and you don't have the mom in the house and it's just you, and after you finally get them to bed, you would like a cold beverage, I highly recommend Flight by Yingling. I had 2 of them last night after the kids went to bed because it's a little bit of a stressful situation with just me in the house. It's a summer beer. It's delicious. All the flavor of the beer that you're looking for, but it's light. It's the next generation of light beer. You're talking about 2.6 carbs, 95 calories. Summertime, looking for a cold pop. Flight by Yingling has got you covered.
All right, first one here. Hunt stinks. Take it or leave it.
I'll
take it.
That seemed mean.
Yes.
Where did that come from?
Because your laptop, Hunt.
It's okay. I don't need it anymore. We've gotten to the end of the show.
Okay.
There's only 4 minutes left. I don't have to look at any statistics.
All right.
Now, if there's any breaking news that I might have gotten from refreshing Twitter on my laptop, someone's just going to have to call me and tell me about it.
In a very preventable situation, of course.
It is.
As we always know.
There are multiple plugs everywhere. My charger's right above us. But look, it's the end of the week. It's symbolic. You're just powering down. You've finished the job.
Okay. All right. First one. The New Orleans Pelicans and Herb Jones agreed to a 3-year, $68 million extension, keeping Jones in New Orleans till at least 2029. He's got a player option after that. Take it or leave it.
I'll take it. It's good. It's such an it'll be the legacy, I think, of the David Griffin era. He swung and missed on the superstars.
Yeah.
The ancillary pieces he nailed.
Yes.
Like Herb is awesome.
Trey Murphy.
And Trey Murphy is great. And like you put really good pieces around Zion, B.I., and all these guys. Those guys were the ones that couldn't drive the bus.
And those ones you need to drive, you need them.
You got to drive the
more
bus.
than the ancillary guys.
But it's easier usually to identify the superstar and get that guy. It's hard to find draft picks around 19 that hit, and he did that routinely, and Herb's one of them. Great pick. They just couldn't get the superstar to figure it out.
Yeah, really good. Herb is a guy that when you hear people that are like follow the NBA and they know the NBA, a lot of people would like Herb Jones in their team. He was a really coveted guy. A lot of Pelicans fans were worried they may package him in a deal for picks or for a marquee player, but thankfully they didn't. I think
he was at Alabama when I was doing Hoops with Hunt. I was deep in SEC basketball at that point. I didn't think really much of him. Like, he won Player of the Year in the league. He's a good player.
He's really good.
I wasn't like, this guy's going to be the best defender in the league.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming at all.
In terms of prospect wise, he didn't seem like he was going to be a really good NBA prospect, and he really wasn't a great prospect over. I mean, that's why he kind of fell in the draft a little bit, but obviously has had a really good career to this point, and I expect him to be a key player for the Pelicans for the next few years. All right, last one here. You will watch Space Jam more than 6 times this weekend. Take it or leave it.
I'm going to leave it for this reason.
Just leave it alone.
Because I'm going to Atlanta at like noon on Sunday.
Oh, okay.
If I got Sunday afternoon and night,
it's over.
We would have a chance there, but we're not. I tried to sell him on Lion King and Little Mermaid in the car ride yesterday.
Chance.
It just didn't work.
Space Jam.
The thing about Space Jam that is why I don't think it's going anywhere for a little while. Because the intro credits, when they play all the Michael Jordan highlights, and they play, come on and slam.
It's so
and welcome
electric.
to the jam.
One of the best
and Myers
openings.
just sits there and goes, slam, jam, slam. And he just and it's the first thing. You don't even have to wait like 10 minutes into the movie. It's the first thing that plays, and he's obsessed with it.
Maybe you just need to play the opening, and then that's it.
I don't want to hear the opening again. I want to hear anything else.
I know, but I'm just saying, instead of watching the entire movie, maybe just play the opening, and then after that, he'll be fine.
The question is, and this is something that I talked to Alyssa about, I'm not pulling a fast one here. Keller does like Miss Rachel, the YouTube videos.
Yeah.
He is 4 months old. Like, you're not supposed to be looking at a television at 4 months old.
No.
But if you need a lifeline, like, I have a safety net. So the question is, does it get to that point?
I would.
The other thing with Keller tonight that we're going to battle, I feel bad because Keller, it's too hot for him to sit out there.
Yeah.
So I can't really go outside with Myers, who doesn't want to be cooped up all day. So I need Keller to fall asleep in the stroller on the front porch so that I can watch Myers ride his bike outside.
Well, why don't you
if he won't sleep, then it's too hot for him. Like, if he's not asleep, it's going to be too hot.
You don't have like a fan or something you can just put on him?
I don't know if I have like a box fan.
Oh, you need it. That's why you need to get a good fan, Hunt.
I need Keller to fall asleep so Myers can play outside for 20 minutes.
That would be good.
The kid just can't stay inside for 40 hours
not.
straight.
He's at the perfect age.
Because
man.
if he won't and we got to leave the house, I'm probably gonna have to go bowling. And I'm just telling you, that is pricier than it should be.
It is.
And I'm trying to avoid astronomical costs while my wife is undoubtedly spending lots of cash.
But apparently she isn't. She's just staying at the hotel room.
I just saw a spritz she's drinking at lunch. It's going to go off the rails. Who knows if she sits down on a slot machine? That could be the end of the retirement
penny
fund.
slots only, Alyssa. Penny slots only.
Penny slots. I don't even know how to work a slot machine. I wouldn't know if I won or not.
I don't either. I have no idea. They always have the lines and everything.
They sent us to a casino for the pregame show, and Brandon Taylor pulled the lever one time in Coshada and won like $800.
Oh, you got the jackpot or something probably.
I didn't win anything.
Impressive.
I played blackjack and quickly donated some cash to the Coshada casino, which I'll be back to later, and I'll probably donate more cash, just the way that generally goes. I lost so fast at the Ameristar my last night. It was not fun. I drank 2 sips of my beer, and
what's wrong with you, huh?
And the money
why
was
are you
gone.
so bad?
Well, I don't think I'm bad. I think I got the bad cards. You only play the cards you're dealt.
Yeah.
That's going to do it for this week. If you missed any of the show, catch it on demand wherever you find your sound. We are leaving on the jet plane on Sunday. Fired up for next week. Wall-to-wall SEC football media days coming to you all day long, Monday through Thursday. Matt will drive you home. Have a great and safe weekend. We'll see you from Atlanta on Monday for the Hunt Palmer Show.
The Hunt Palmer Show.